Many happy years have passed since Zeus and the other gods defeated the attack of the Titans on Mount Olympus, and Zeus transmorphed the final standing Titan into a phoenix. All the while, Zeus does not feel confident in this decision, as foreboding omens have been predicted by the god seers about Zeus's actions. Zeus is feeling the cold fingers of fear for a second time after 2 millennia. The first time Zeus felt fear like this was when the horns of the Titans trumpeted as they marched up to Mount Olympus. The phoenix's scream is so loud that it is heard by Zeus, who sends his herald to investigate. The phoenix cries a single tear, and a feather that are red and glowing fall upon the boy's body. The feathers are like flames, but they do not burn, but are warm, and have the look of being magical. The bird's tear, however, is very hot. A breath is heard from the child. It sounds like someone who is drowning just got some air. The phoenix looks down upon the boy, who is struggling to breathe normally. The boy grasps the phoenix's leg, and in a quiet voice asks the phoenix, "Are you an angel?" The phoenix, unable to understand the question, stands at attention for a long moment. As the boy stands, a loud howl comes from the distance. Cerberus, the three-headed dog that guards the gates to hell, has found them. Cerberus hates this particular phoenix because he took pity on a soul and rescued it from hell. The windows of the house start to shatter, and the earth starts to rumble, bringing down furniture and family heirlooms, almost crushing the boy as he stumbles about wearily from his death experience. The bark of the hound gets louder as it comes closer. The roof of the building tears off and is blown away. A flash of light occurs, and a figure of Greek grace stands in the house. "We have no time," shouts the figure. "Please come with me." The boy motions towards the figure. The figure grabs the boy, and the phoenix follows. The hound lunges at the house, only to miss it by 3 inches. Its next lunge absolutely destroys the home. Shockwaves of the hound's roar follow the 3 after their destination of Mount Olympus. High on the slopes of Mount Olympus, horns blew to announce the arrival of 3 travelers. The palace of Zeus was truly astonishing, adorned with the golden pillars and granite flooring. Guards were not human. Instead, they were giant griffins, which have the head, feet, and wings of an eagle, and the body of a lion. The griffins met with the figure, and then escorted them to the council chambers. A chamber servant opened a large wooded carved door, and as they passed through the room, it opens into a huge council chamber with over 10,000 seats. Zeus's figure resides behind a large stone podium in the room. Zeus is garbed with bright silk-like cloth and appears as a man in his late 50s. Zeus motions to the doorway. It opens on his command, with Athena entering the room. Athena is dressed in a centurion outfit, which is leather-clad sarce with silk trim. She begins to read charges against the phoenix. Banis cannot see anyone in the stands, but the boy can make out sounds which resonate with a murmur and vibration. Athena reads the first charge of murder. The second is resurrection of a mortal. The figure which saved the boy and the phoenix takes form and responds. "I, Hermes, will represent this being, because it is my belief that it cannot understand any of these charges." Athena raises her voice and says, "How dare you, Archimedes? This thing that killed my beloved Hephaestus does not have any emotion. How do you intend to represent it?" Archimedes, in a somber tone, says, "My beloved sister Athena, it is my belief that this being was never in control of its own actions. Until I saw what I saw today, I also believe that this being was evil and incapable of love." Athena defiantly booms to the crowd, "This beast has fooled my brother. Surely it is only capable of one thing, and that is death." A hush falls over the crowd like the wind has just stopped. There is a lightning strike in the distance as dark clouds roll into the stadium. Dark rain starts pouring down. Zeus stands at attention at the podium. A dark figure floats from the darkest cloud. Gallantly, the figure lands in the center of the auditorium. In a stern yet bold voice, Zeus exclaims, "Brother, O king of the underworld, what gives us the honor of your presence?" Hades sarcastically says, "'Tis not honor that brings me, brother." Zeus angrily says, "If not honor, what brings you here then?" Hades motions to the bird and pointing says, "This bird belongs to me. And this child should no longer be living, as he was snatched from the front of my gates. Zeus asks Hades, "This bird is a phoenix, and it belongs to no one. This phoenix exists not for the purpose of death, but only for the purpose of life." Hades exclaims, "Wrong, dear brother. It can also be used for the purpose of your death." More dark clouds form, and lightning, and the dark rain pours extremely heavily. The phoenix starts to scream because the dark rain is putting out the fire on its feathers. Hades calls out to Zeus, "Brother, for far too long you have kept me in the underworld. As we speak, my creations descend upon your slopes, and your precious Hercules isn't there to stop them now." Zeus, with lightning bolt in hand, poised to throw, yells, "You dare defy me, Hades! By the gods, meet your fate!" Athena draws her sword and runs towards Hades, slicing cleanly into his body. Hades, laughing, morphs in a figure behind him. Hades tells Athena, "You must be joking, girl. I am the essence of undeath." Hermes, the phoenix, and the boy run, but are forced in behind the podium because the earth is collapsing around them. As Athena keeps attacking Hades, his being continuously phases as he's struck. It is like striking a moving shadow. Hades' form draws a dark dagger made of shadow and stands behind one of his images and strikes Athena in the stomach. Zeus, seeing this, throws the lightning bolt, striking Hades, and the shadow figure is no more. Zeus rushes to the aid of Athena. "Father," calls Athena as she drops to her knees. "Athena," yells Zeus. Hermes runs to Athena's aid as well. There are no more gods in the audience as a battle is waging outside the auditorium. The griffin screams and the titans roar is all that can be heard. "Athena, what should I do?" Zeus says in a very peculiar manner for a god. "Father, we have to use the ancient magic, or we can stay here no longer." "That magic is forbidden. Who knows what it could do?" exclaims Zeus. "We have no time, Father. We have to use it, as it is our only hope," replies Hermes. Hermes asks, "What is the key, Father?" Zeus replies, "The key is a phoenix feather, and it must be placed upon the podium." The boy, hearing this, checks his pockets. "I have a feather," he exclaims. Hermes, seeing the feather, yells, "Quick, boy, the altar!" Athena continues to cough blood and says, "Father, I am not long for this world." Zeus replies, "Athena, do not lose hope, for it is not lost you." The boy falls, getting to the podium, and the feather flies out of his hand. The boy watches the feather as it falls, almost in an everlasting instant. The ground totally gives way around the podium, and Zeus, Athena, Hermes, and the boy are seemingly sucked into a void of never-ending darkness. The boy's eyes focus on the feather, locked in anticipation. As it falls, it sort of moves side to side, hovering over the podium. About to be engulfed in darkness, the boy's last sight is the feather landing on the pedestal, and then a spark of light emerging.